The moment has arrived.
I pushed the button. It's going to work.
This is going to be scary good, man.
I'm sorry?
We're killing it. It's Maddie Levine with my good friend Dave Van Auken. Welcome to the Fight Banana Show.
The ruthless one, Elle Dawson.
Hey, guys.
Our girl, Gillian the Savage Robertson.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Welcome to the Fight Banana Show. 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Fight Bananas.
Well, hello, Dave Van Auken.
What's up, Miss Maddie Levine? How are you? I missed you, my dear friend.
It's been a long time, I feel like. We haven't chatted in a bit. We missed you last week.
3 weeks?
It's been a while. We missed you last week.
I know, dude. I appreciate that. TikTok,
Yeah.
TikTok. Yeah. Hi, Dan. How are you? Good comment there. I'm definitely putting that one up. Dude, what a crazy... It's such an amazing time to be in this space of MMA, media, and all of this. It never stops. Like how we just came off of a humongous pay-per-view, UFC 304, a new champion, Tom Aspinall could be one of the biggest stars in the sport. We just saw what Patty Pimblett did. I cannot wait to talk to Elle Dawson about that. But then we just have to keep it moving because UFC Abu Dhabi is in a huge show, big time show on ABC. So much to talk about there. UFC's the PFL's in Nashville. Elle Dawson and myself will be there. We have so much to do. I was just at an event in Charlotte. There's just so much going on, Maddie. It's insane. UFC Noche finally announced their main event. Crazy.
It's so hard to keep up, but we do our best. So welcome into the Fight Banana Show, where we're going to try and tackle it all in the next few hours and keep you updated. We got a bunch of awesome guests as well that we're going to be bringing to you. We're ending things off with a UFC stud, so I'm excited about that one.
He's 18-0, Maddie. It's amazing how underrated he is. Maybe
he's going under the radar somehow, but not for long, I don't think. But yeah, you had quite the weekend, Dave. So tell me a little bit about what Fight For It.
So it was awesome. First and foremost, Fight For It is a regional, a North Carolina, South Carolina MMA organization. They've had Brian Battle kind of run through that organization and a couple of others go in the UFC in that borderline. And it's funny. One of the first really, really early interviews I ever did, early, was for Fight For It 9. It was the main event was Brian Battle versus AJ Chambers. Just a really cool, fun interview. We actually did one of those, Maddie. We did it was me and both of them were on the screen at the same time. And
Love it.
They were both talking. They're both awesome guys. And Brian Battle was there at the show too, which was really funny. It was great to kind of catch up with him. But they can both, they both respect others, but they're very confident in their own skills. So there's only so much. You know what I mean? Can go. There you go. Right there you go. Fight For It 21 was bananas. It was absolutely stacked. I'm going to talk about it. Hey, we're going for it. It was so cool to it doesn't matter how big I get or where I go. I love shows like that. Charlotte, North Carolina, love the city, the Queen City, awesome time. The company was great, took great care of me. And then just the venue was awesome. The venue was cool. It was a little 2-story venue. To the gills. It was packed and the energy was electric. Fights were great. There was over 30 fights. There was 30 fights on it. It was a long day and night. Great fights, great knockouts. But then the main event over delivered. It was so dang good. We're bringing AJ Chambers back on the show to talk about it. It was insane. It was a first round head kick knockout.
Yeah, it was some Ross Levine shit. I watched it and I was like, oh, I think my husband would like this one.
Yeah, it was insane. It was
yeah.
Terry, if I'm sorry. I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry. The second hour, I'm going to go into Tony Ferguson for 5 to 7 minutes. It's I want a one shot of just me. This isn't the biggest comeback in UFC history. This is the swan song and a great run to Tony Ferguson. And we will say bye to Tony. So that's a little spoiler alert for the second hour. There you go. Look at a great comment. Look at this. DNM.
Oh, the loser goes to bare knuckle.
Yeah.
God, I hope not. Oh my God. I don't think Tony can take one more punch. Can we not do that? Oh my gosh.
But the show was awesome. Shout out to Fight 421. I know they already have their next date. I believe it's September 14th, Rock Hill, South Carolina. And we'll see if your boy will be back. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
I love it. I mean, if you could be in 3 places at once, I think you would. And I think that would help you.
I need another vacation off my vacation.
Yeah.
Can we give a huge shout out? Look at this mug I got sent in the shirt.
That's some sweet stuff right there. Grind Ops Coffee Co.
Yeah.
A proud sponsor of Fight Bananas.
So I had to Grind Cops. I got a button here. GrindOpsCoffeeCo.com.
It seemed like a good time to pop on.
Oh, hey, El.
I didn't want to interrupt any. You guys were like on a roll. I was like, I'll just wait. And then, yeah, this seemed like a good time.
Never an interruption here, El. Never. Ever. But look, dude, this cup is insane.
Yeah,
both of you guys got stuff where I will be mailing it to your house very soon.
We need that for the Sunday morning brew.
Exactly.
Especially for this Sunday morning brew, because I will be getting back from Nashville at like midnight on Saturday. So
oh gosh. If you make it, I adore you. If
no, we're gonna do it. We're doing it. We're not skipping 2 weeks in a row.
No, we can't. I'll hold down the fort if needed, but yeah, we'll need all of that coffee for sure. I'm here for that.
That's cool.
That is cool. I like that.
You guys are both getting a package, different flavors. I got dark roast, medium roast, special flavors.
Woo, let's go. Let's go. Maddie runs on caffeine, so all the caffeine for sure. So Colorado was insane. I was there for a couple days. I would have stayed there for so much longer. Have you been to Colorado?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love Colorado. I love the weather there.
It was my second time being in Colorado. The first time was for winter. This one was in summer. Summer all day. It was
yeah.
Oh my God. It was so cool. Much slower living than New England though, I will say.
Everyone's floating.
Everybody's chilling, man. Like very, very, easy going. And I realize with each trip that I go on how fast-paced and rude New Englanders are. But I loved it. We went to this place called Garden of the Gods. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it is chef's kiss, the coolest place I've ever been. Like
Googling that right now.
Oh my God. It was the coolest place. Like very Instagram worthy, if you know what I'm saying. Just like absolutely.
How do I share this? How do I share my?
If you go to present, share screen, and then you should be able to choose.
Don't have L push buttons on this.
I know. We're in rough territory here.
This, guys.
But if you ever have a chance to go to Colorado, absolutely do it. I was there for a wedding, and the wedding was on top of a freaking mountain. Yeah, look at that thing. Look at that. I was hiking through all of that. It was incredible.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Gorgeous. I love that.
Yeah.
Huge fan of that.
Wow.
Like these rocks, no joke, millions and millions and millions of years old, like hundreds of millions of years old. Nuts. But I was that person that was at a wedding on Saturday. So I was like trying to stream the fights on my phone from the top of a mountain in Colorado. And it didn't work out, guys. It did not work out. Zero service in the Colorado mountains. Did
the Patty Pimlet King Green fight happen already? Did I miss that fight?
I think if you blinked, you would have missed it for sure. No, but yeah, I'm so sick of living through the highlights. It's such bullshit. So if my friends could stop having weddings on Saturdays, that would be great. Please and thank you.
Chase, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Dave's getting banned from the next watch party stream.
No, I'm not.
I'm gonna block him in the comments.
Me and Elle are usually 90% usually on like big fights on the same side and the same picks. Me and Elle haven't been 180 on different side of a pick in a long, long time. And I loved it. It's the best one. Dude, I'm wrong all the time. I am a guy who I'm wrong all the time. So let's just get that out of the way right away. I'm humble pie all the time. But I thought it was crazy. And even I listened to the Bet and Bananas over again and just listening to Elle talk about the fight. It was 100% like, oh, this is just a no brainer. And like Patty had no shot. I'm like, am I missing something? The man's undefeated in the UFC.
We all missed something. And that was why the hell did Bobby Green shoot a takedown?
Yeah.
Well,
That was the scenario that didn't like I never would have seen happening. Like I didn't expect Patty to be able to get him down because Patty doesn't have the wrestling to get Bobby Green down. He didn't have to. Bobby Green took himself down.
Dean Tool, that is a lie, and you know it. You've seen me, so that's a lie. We're moving on.
It should be a lie.
Have you seen Dave? Have you seen your haircut? You absolutely pour the milk first.
What does that mean?
I'm making fun of you. I was just making fun of you.
Anyways, real quick, no, and Al, this is where I think the MMA masses missed on the King Green stuff. Dude, I think no one, for one, King Green is a lot older than what people think. Like, he is just older in his tooth. I mean, dude, he got absolutely destroyed about Jalen Turner. Like, I listened to you guys.
Would annihilate Patty Pimblett. Still.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yes, still. 100%. 100%. Patty has been unbelievably lucky. Just
that is the most.
He 100% lost to Jared Gordon. He 100% lost the fight to Jared Gordon. It wasn't even that close.
Didn't say so.
Yeah, wonder why.
No, we agreed on that. Jared Gordon beat him that night. But even in that, like, I think you're discounting Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon's a really good mixed martial artist.
He is a very good fighter. He is a very good fighter, but he's also not ranked at lightweight because lightweight is one of the deepest divisions in the world. And like, man, I just think he's he's had a very smart.
Look at this. The man can't improve. Did Charles Oliveira went 50-50 for like 4 years in the UFC? That like fighters can't improve and get better?
No, for sure. Not that much.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, all fighters evolve. All fighters get better.
Charles was fighting the best of the best even when he was losing, though. Like, I still don't see. I see Patty struggling with the majority of the rankings, and I will continue to say that. I think they're playing him very smart. They've managed him very well. He's gotten the right matchups at the right times, clearly. But I still think if you put him against anybody in the top 10, like, I just don't see it.
Go
ahead, Maddie.
Do you mind if I say something? Okay. I'm kidding. So I think it's fair to say, Dave, that I think you can agree that Dana saw something in Patty, saw a star in Patty, and decided to give him a certain path to greatness, kind of the path to least resistance. And luck kind of did play a factor in it, but I also could see like there is some improvements here. He did get a finish, but I think it has to be said, like, this man has been kind of handed this certain path. And I was going to present the question of, do you think he kind of shut up the haters with this latest victory? But it kind of seems like maybe he hasn't.
I'm not
Can
hating.
I just say something real quick on it? Then I'll take it. I so disagree. I don't despise this too hard. Guys, it's they're all fighting in the UFC. Like, I understand there's harder paths or easier paths, but they're all fighting. Like, Patty was fighting good guys in the UFC. It's not like he was fighting Bellator guys. Like, guys, Patty was fighting good guys. Like, he maybe wasn't fighting the number one. Like, they didn't feed him Benoit Saint Denis, but like, everyone said that about Conor McGregor. But then Conor McGregor fought Max Holloway on the way up. Like, and everyone.
I wasn't saying that about Conor McGregor.
People said that about Sugar Sean O'Malley, and then like he fought Peter Yan, and then he just knocked out Aljo. It's like he fought Cheeto Vera, and at that time, like, Cheeto wasn't what Cheeto was, and like that, we look back, like, that was a really hard fight on the way up. Like, dude, they all fight. Sooner or later they all fight, and if you're gonna be world champion, dude, we talk about it. We love talking to Grant all the time. Grant doesn't want to be ranked number 15 or 14. He doesn't. He wants to be world champion. It doesn't matter if you're 16, 15, and 14. Like, you want to be world champion. If you're going to become a world champion, you're going to have to fight the best guys in the world at the top. Sooner or later, we will all see where he's at. I don't think Patty Pimblett will ever be world champion. I just think he is better than what people think he is or he was before the King Green fight. That's all I was saying. I thought he was. anywhere between 12 and 17. I think he's a really, really good fighter.
I will give you that he is better than we thought, but I 100% agree with what Joe is saying here. Like, Jalen Turner at 13, incredibly tough fight for Patty. Yeah. Saint-Denis at 12. I don't see how Patty wins that fight. Dan Hooker, hear me out. I actually could see Patty possibly beating Dan Hooker.
Oh, wow.
I think it's a super tough fight, but Hooker is getting older and he is injured a lot. And so Patty is, if nothing else, massive and durable. I will say I did not expect him to look as big as he did, because he always still looks a little sunk in because he has to cut an exorbitant amount of weight every camp. But he was massive. Mm-hmm. And Hooker is not the biggest lightweight. Like, so I could possibly see that being a smart matchup for the UFC to make for him. Just saying.
And I'm just going to throw out another name too. Like, and 8 months ago, no one would have said this name. And right now he's still in that spot, but we might see Moicano beat this guy soon. And like all of a sudden, it's weird how we see guys and then they just kind of falter. You lose once, you kind of lose that indivisibility, and then you kind of like falter. Benoit Saint-Denis, like he's very aggressive. He's very loose. He's very unmaintained. And like,
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like he's reckless. It's like calculated recklessness.
Yeah. So when it's working, he looks amazing. But when, trust me, like a weird sweep, a weird scramble, and Patty could be on that guy's back like that. It could happen. I'm just throwing that out there.
Maybe. Maybe. I think I agree. I think
Jalen Turner sometimes look a little just off, like just not.
Yeah, against Mateusz Gamrot, he looked honestly pretty good against Moicano, who was a terrible matchup for him because Moicano has really good wrestling. Patty has great jiu-jitsu. I still haven't seen him set up his takedowns well. I haven't seen that yet, you know? Yeah. Maybe Molly can give him a few pointers because she was dumping that girl on her head a couple of times. Those were her like couple of good moments in that Bruno Brazil fight. She has a solid takedown.
Molly McCann versus Michelle Montague is gonna be a great fight in Bellator very soon.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what is next for Molly? What
class are you putting Meatball Molly in?
Who cares? Just
make it happen.
So you're just saying, see you later? Get out of here.
No, she's a great draw.
Oh yeah, how are we not talking about Makayev?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it.
I'm sorry.
Dylan said I think he's going to be in 3 minutes. Huh?
I said, speaking of people.
It's been 19 minutes. We haven't mentioned Bilal Muhammad, Tom Aspinall. Like, there's so much to get into.
If nobody's mentioned.
I was kind of letting you guys go. I was gonna divert, but you guys were just on a roll. I was letting it happen.
Have you guys seen all the memes of like zooming in on Dana's face? Well,
yeah. It's like, why does he hate Bilal so much? Why? What is it? Is it
the
Bilal?
Presumed is that he's boring? Like the presumed.
Is it Bilal's just?
I don't think he's boring.
Me either.
Like, that has nothing to do with it, in my opinion. I don't think he's boring at all. I don't understand that. But,
I mean, maybe it's because he doesn't have a character off screen. Like he doesn't have this elaborate Sean O'Malley appeal, and he doesn't, I don't know. Does he talk shit very often? I'm not sure.
He doesn't do it very well.
He just, but like, you gotta,
Cejudo, but not on purpose.
It's just such an odd thing to have a fighter just consistently deliver and win, and yet you still don't have the respect of the president.
I don't know if this is true, but here's an argument. The reasons for Makayev being let go, by the way, have nothing to do with him wrestling.
No, it has everything to do with Makayev's actions.
He's incredibly difficult to work with.
Right.
Maybe there's some behind the scenes stuff that we don't know about.
I would have to assume,
there could be a lot of reasons Dana doesn't like fighters that we will never know,
A great point. I 100% agree. Like you are in the gym sometimes, sometimes fighters that are maybe more difficult than others and behind the scenes stories. So you definitely know stuff. And then two, here's another huge thing. And I say this all the time, and I'm so lucky to have some of this information. I see all the analytics just behind Fight Bananas. So just behind posting a Bilal Muhammad win thing or a Paddy Pimblett win banner. It's two totally different worlds. Yeah. We make more money when we post about Paddy Pimblett. Like, that's just what it is. It is what it is. Wow. So if the UFC, and now just imagine they're talking about selling out arenas and cards and like usually a card works its way down. Everyone makes more money if the guy on top is more. Maybe Bilal, all his metrics are really bad. The UFC knows that. So it's like, crap, we have to put him on top of a pay-per-view or co-main event him, and he's bad metrics. He's bad analytics. I'm just throwing it out there. Well, I don't know.
Another example of that would be like Demetrius Johnson's one of the most dominant champions in history. Phenomenal fighter, one of the best to ever do it. Probably could still beat most guys in the UFC. And he just couldn't bring in the numbers. I don't know if it's the weight class or what it is, because I happen to really like him as a person, personality-wise. But yeah, it's some guys just don't bring in the money, and it's an entertainment business too. So
that's a double-edged sword. It's like, yes, this is a sport and you're a professional athlete, but a league like the UFC, like, it's very much entertainment. So I'm sure that has something to do with it. But as far as Makayev, I mean, from what I've seen in the reports that I've seen, he decided to do a little bit of shopping, and that pissed off Dana, and I don't blame him. So
there we go. And again, what story is true, one story is not true. Like, and now Makayev and all of his agents are talking that away. But we'll definitely get back into that. We got to talk about Tom Aspinall, might be the best heavyweight on this planet. But let's talk about another heavyweight. We're going to see him August 9th, that Island Fights 84. I've seen this man fight live probably 5 to 7 times. So dang excited to see him back in Pensacola. Let's get him back on the show. The bad boy, Dillon Cleckler. Dillon, what's up, brother?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Doing good, bro. How are you?
Good. Doing good.
Doing good. Cool. I know Maddie's got questions. Elliot's got questions, but let's just kind of start the obvious. We're around that kind of 10, 12 days out, getting really close to fight. Are you starting to feel those vibes of fight night coming back to you?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah. The last 2 weeks of camper, they're pretty stressful. But yeah, same old thing. And I know you're a Pensacola legend. Like, you sell out the Bay Center. Like, you're here. I remember that bridge they did the painting of you. Like, you're an absolute star in Pensacola. Yeah. Is it more pressure to fight at the Bay Center, or do you kind of love that affair, that fanfare? Because a couple last times, you've been fighting in Miami or Biloxi and stuff of that nature. Or do you like fighting at the Bay Center in Pensacola? There is definitely a bittersweet a taste, I guess, because you have to really perform for your city, and everybody's you feel like everybody comes out to support you and they want to see you win. So there's definitely an added pressure to that. But then again, it's like you're home and everything is kind of you don't have to worry about traveling and flying on plane, stuff like that. It's like, it's in my backyard. It's like 2 miles away from my house. So it takes pressure away from you in that aspect, but then it adds a little bit of pressure because of your performance. You have to really show out.
Dillon, I just love how you started your career with Island Fights 13 years ago. I mean, in fighter terms, that could be like 100 years ago, So yeah. I'm sure you've evolved in those 13 years. How does it feel? Yeah. How does it feel to make that walk again for Island Fights?
It's crazy because, I was just thinking about that before I got on, and, I started when Island Fights started, their amateur shows. I started when they did that. When they turned pro, I turned pro. It was kind of like, we were following each other up the rankings. It's great. It's great to fight, and to see, because I go to the shows every time they have them, regardless if I'm fighting on them or not. The show has come so far. Like y'all wouldn't believe where we used to fight at. You know, we fought at the Pensacola. My pro debut was at the Pensacola Fairgrounds, and that is not a glamorous place to fight at. But you know, we did. They had very low lighting, very very poor ventilation. It was you know, you could almost jump and touch the roof if you had to. So we've come, not we, but you know, Island Fights has come a long way, and to see the production the way it is, man, it's you know, it's one of the best you're going to see in the country.
I've never been to Pensacola, and it has been hyped up so much to me by Dave and Dean and everybody I talk to. This is my first Island Fights experience next weekend. Like, what would you say to somebody like me who's never been there and never experienced this fight community?
The fight community here is definitely large. You know, it's a small town, but you know, there's a ton of fighters that come out of here. As far as Pensacola goes, don't stay longer than a week, because you'll probably know everybody if you do. And it's really who you hang around with. If you're hanging around Dean and Dave, you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna love it.
Awesome.
There you go. Fighting against Frank Tate, it's I didn't know that there was bad blood when I saw the fight poster. Of course, I talked to a couple people, you know, behind the scenes. I guess there is bad blood. Can you give us the why is there bad blood? Is it on one side, both sides? What's the deal? Why is this fight getting emotional?
I didn't know there was bad blood.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's definitely one-sided, because I don't think twice about Frank Tate and whatever he does. When I was fighting bare knuckle, because I fought him 2020 during the pandemic. I fought him bare knuckle, and I knocked him out. I actually tore my bicep in the first round, so it took me a little while, but I ended up knocking him out in the third round. About a year later, he started going online saying that I hit him with some illegal shots. The referee was paid off. You know, just some really off the wall stuff. Very humorous stuff. Very funny to listen to, especially a year after the fight happened. And he's just kind of he's just kind of been mad at me ever since then, which is why he's getting this little rematch, because he tried to get it in bare knuckle. So you know, when the opportunity came and who he was fighting fell out, I was like, man, let me get this dude out of the way real quick. See what he says the next time I beat him. So you know, that's kind of what it was. He just said I hit him with some illegal shots in the back of the head. I never saw any. I never got a warning during the fight. But you know, the referee was paid off, so that was why I didn't get any warnings.
We'll mention Miss Brittany here in a second, Miss Brittany. But if I would say just real quick, Dillon, I was lucky enough to be in that fight. Remember, it was a weird place in Mississippi, a weird city.
Yeah.
What were we drinking out of the back of that van? That was like some kind of special juice that we were drinking. What was that?
Oh, that was my homemade moonshine.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was some homemade
You sure
moonshine.
I should be traveling with this guy?
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
I said, you sure I should be traveling with this guy?
I won't say yeah.
Were you making the moonshine? Is that something you do?
Was I making it?
Yeah. How'd you get homemade moonshine?
I think that's illegal, so I'm gonna say no.
Got it.
No, I'm just kidding. My old trainer, he passed away right after that fight.
Yeah.
I fought. He used to get it from somebody, and I haven't been able to find his connect. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was good. It was some good stuff.
We'll keep that on the DL. We'll keep that on the DL.
Yeah, well, I have to do something for this fight, because every fight we had in Pensacola, no matter where it was, there was always some moonshine present after the fight. So I'm gonna have to, and we would tailgate. We'd go out to the parking lot no matter where we were, and he had some cups most of the time, and especially after the pandemic, he definitely had cups. Before the pandemic, we would just share the jug. But yeah. We'll definitely have to do
the moonshine would kill any germs.
That was our logic behind it. Yeah, the moonshine kill everything.
I think I remember the sun coming up the next morning, and it was.
Oh, listen, that moonshine was so dangerous because it tasted just like just like apple juice.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Honestly, you could give it to a child and they wouldn't know the difference. You could not taste anything, and it was so. You have no idea how many after parties I don't even remember because of that moonshine.
It was. Yeah. I got one more before Maddie or Elle does, and my man, we'll let you go. We know it's coming soon. Like I said, I mentioned to her, dude, I got one too. Behind any good man is a great woman. Love seeing you guys together. Love seeing you guys shine together. How important is it to have your beautiful wife next to you?
100%. I wish I'd have found her a lot sooner sooner in my career, because she lines it up for me. She makes it so easy for me to just go and train, and then not have to worry about all the ins and outs and in betweens.
Right.
She handles the home. She handles the kids. When I was in Miami, she held it down. She took off her career for years, just so I could get some extra training and try to learn something new. She is my rock, 100%. Like I said, I wish she'd have found me earlier. I was looking for her. I don't know what she was doing.
I love that. Speaking of kids, I saw one. I believe it was your daughter crushing it on the mats. It looks like you have a future star in jiu-jitsu, huh?
She's good. She's extremely tall for her age. She was actually wrestling with kids her own age. Some of them probably older, but she's like a foot taller than every kid that's 6 years old.
Wow.
She might have got some prior coaching before she went. I can't confirm or deny that, because I don't know if they're supposed to have that. But I did show her like one move, and she took to it like duck to water. It was a rear naked choke, and which is funny because I've submitted a couple guys with that in my career. Might be the only submission I've ever used. But yeah, she was so good at it, and she was killing these kids. Loving every second of it.
I love that. I love it. Guys, if anything else, if not, we'll let DC run, man. Island Fights 84 is August 9th. I guess the VIP tables are all sold out. Of course, Dillon Cleckler's fighting, that's why, but you can still get GAs. Go to Ticketmaster.com. Get your general tickets for Island Fights 84, August 9th. Girls, anything else for Dillon?
No, I'm just pumped to see you back in there, man.
I'm excited for my first Pensacola experience.
Oh, yeah. Brace yourself.
There we go. Appreciate it, Dillon. We'll talk soon, man. Have a good, 10, 12 days, and we'll see you out there in Pensacola. All right, brother?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Always, brother. All right, Dillon Cleckler, Island Fights 84 main event. There we go. All right, dude. When he walks out, it's a scene in Pensacola.
That's awesome.
It's a scene. Cannot wait.
I love that. I love the energy. The one time I was in Pensacola, I loved it. I loved it. So that'll be awesome.
Let's go. All right. Can we talk about some Tom Aspinall? Can we give
Absolutely. Please,
the heavyweight champion his light, his flowers, the kids say, I think.
Oh yeah.
Real quick, before we jump into that, did you guys think it was an early stoppage?
No.
Neither did I.
Was that what people were saying?
People were saying that?
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. Oh my God.
I thought it was a perfectly fine stoppage. Like, sure, you might have been able to let it go a couple more seconds, but I just didn't see. People were like, oh, he was starting to get up. It's like he was eating some nasty
Curtis
shots.
Blades was flat on his back.
He was flat on his back.
10 shots by Tom Aspinall.
And he wasn't responding.
Yeah, you're not getting up.
He wasn't defending himself. Shut up. People suck. People suck.
I agree. I was gonna ask completely unbiased and see how you guys reacted.
I loved his post-fight speech, just getting right to the point. John Jones, I have no beef with you, but I'm better than you. I loved all of that. Loved his idea of the 4-man tournament. We all know this isn't going to happen, but it's still a really cool idea of getting that tournament together. 2 fights in one night. John Jones, Stipe, Aspinall, Pereira. I mean, I would watch it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Couple minutes, and then let me. I saw something, and I'm not just gonna take it. I saw something that Brendan Schaub said, so I'm gonna kind of just triple down on something he said. No, one, I don't like that idea. And two is they're talking about him being the backup. Like, and like the analogy I'm going to give, I used Cindy Crawford like 8 episodes ago. Cindy Crawford was never a backup to any girl. Like Cindy Crawford is like the model of the 90s. Like he's not a backup. Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight alive. He's not a backup. Like that drives me wild. Like Brendan Schaub's like, Tom, grow a set and be like, dude, these two guys are fighting for this fake title. Like I'm the best.
Strange.
It's unprecedented times in the heavyweight division.
Why is he begging John Jones? You're better than John. But like that's what I don't want him to be a bad guy. And like I want Tom to be Tom, but like stop begging to fight. Like they should be begging to fight me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on.
Here's my thing. I think there should be a rule. Like if you have the belt and there is an interim champ, you don't get to fight anybody else before you fight the interim champ.
Yeah.
Like it's just silly.
We're in a very silly, awkward period, all because of Dana's respect for John Jones. And it's this weird, like, yeah, but I love him. Like, it's giving like weird girlfriend energy of like, yeah, but like, I love him and he deserves it. It's like, no, Tom Aspinall deserves it. He's the fucking champ. It's very weird.
And John is probably the greatest mixed martial artist that I ever saw in the octagon. So there's no shade towards John. But we're in the fall of 2024. Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight alive today, bar none. Like
you just have to respect the rules of it. Like, yes, he's the GOAT. We all get it. Like John Jones is great. He's awesome. But like respect the flow of the division. Like if you're that good, get back in there and get up again and become champion again. Like get back in line, motherfucker. Like that's kind of how I feel. It's like, you don't just get to sit there and decide when you're going to come back.
But he does.
Well, how?
Clearly.
I know. It's just so frustrating.
Here's the craziest part. Here's the crazy. No one said this angle yet. Everyone's saying about John. And like, we all know, I think everyone, it's pretty well known. This is Stipe's last fight, right? Can we all agree on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened if Stipe starts as John Jones? What happened if Stipe is the one that wins and does that running thing on Verdum and catches him going this way and starts as John? And he wins. And goes, guys, I'm done. I'm walking away.
I feel like you could hear a pin drop if that happened.
I feel like that's not. I don't think we would see Dana look as sad as he did when Bilal got the belt wrapped around his waist. Because he can do something with that. That would be huge. Like a moment like that. That's like shocking.
But what's next?
He still has Aspinall in his back pocket, who's incredibly marketable. Is going to be a dominant champion for a while. Like
he just beat Sergey. He just beat Curtis. John can't fight for it. Stipe's gone. Is he fighting Volkov for the championship?
Pereira. Or Volkov, yeah.
It sounds like he wants Pereira.
Honestly, Alex Pereira is a bigger fight than Volkov. Volkov,
of course,
is
it
right
is.
there though. Like
it is.
He is.
Guys, talking about a big fight. So I was there in Charlotte, North Carolina this past weekend, and I'm telling you, for one, Fight for It was absolutely been.
What, sorry, we have to dog on Chris here. Chris, we're not saying he wasn't allowed to sit out. We're saying you don't get to fight somebody else before the interim champ.
Yeah, you got to fight Tom Aspinall. He has to. He has to. All right.
Okay.
I was giving AJ Chambers his flowers. You interrupted that.
I'm so sorry. AJ.
It's all good. No. So I was in Charlotte, North Carolina. This man, not even just like dominated the show with a head kick knockout, but like he was the star of the show. He was the one that people were taking pictures of. He was the one that was, social media was all about. This man, first round, head kick knockout, one of the coolest celebrations ever, runs to his people, puts the fake crown over his head. I can't wait to ask for him about it. It had to be planned, I would assume. Insane. We talked to him 2-3 weeks ago, guys. Let's welcome back on the show, AJ Chambers, the king of the Carolinas.
How you doing, man?
AJ, what's good, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great.
Are you sure you were in a fight? Look at you. I don't see a single mark on you.
I think I'm good. I think I'm all right. Yeah, it was a good night.
It was a great night. I know the girls got a ton of questions for you, but first and foremost, real quick, was this celebration, was it planned? Did you have the king? Was that kind of already a thing?
Yeah, it was planned like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, we planned. I told my brother, I said, hey, man, look, I said, get the crown on Amazon right now. I said, because when I win, you're gonna throw it over the cage. I'm gonna put it on.
That's all. Manifestation at its finest. Yeah. I love that shit.
100%.
That's awesome.
No, I'm telling you, like, and I talked to Elle off air about it, and Maddie, we talked about it right on the show. I thought, AJ, tell me if I was wrong. I thought the show was incredible. I thought the packed house, Charlotte, North Carolina. I was told it was the most people ever for a Fight For It event. It was insane. You're the headline. You're the main event. You get the first round knockout. That's to any other MMA organization, and especially the big boys, that's a great sign that you can handle being the headliner of the most successful card in their history.
Yeah, 100%. Like when I walked in, even at 5:00, dude, it was a packed house, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good night, and I'm used to being the main event, so I'm used to having all that pressure on me.
Yeah. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was your first head kick knockout. So a second one. All right.
Yeah.
So which one felt better, this one or the first one?
Well, it's
and
equal.
How long ago was the first one?
The first one was my second pro fight.
Okay.
That one was very special to me because at weigh-ins he was talking a lot, saying that I wasn't going to be able to beat him in his boxing. His kickboxing was going to be way better than me. And then I hit the head kick knockout on him, so that was good. But this fight, it was a lot different, man, because I had everyone there. Like, it was crazy. I had my entire family was there, friends from, like, wrestling, like, nationals, state championships. Like, all my friends were there, like, that I haven't seen, like, 10-plus years. So I think that this one definitely was cherry on top for my knockouts.
Mm.
Yeah, it was insane. Like, to kind of double down on it, guys, it was AJ gets this knockout. And he kind of runs, and I was lucky enough. I have AJ probably has like zero idea. Maybe it was me, or maybe he knew it was me. I have the best camera shot. Like I swear for like 5 seconds, AJ and I lock eyes. He's talking to me. He's like, I'm the king of the Carolinas. Yeah. I'm the epic king.
I made sure to find you too when I was walking around. I was like, where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Yeah, I had to find you and say that.
Incredible. Yeah. And then he's on top of the cage. And I'm telling you, I've been to a lot of shows, a lot of big shows. It was just insane, the love that your people were giving you. And then I thought afterwards, like you walking out, I have this beautiful picture. Like it was cool. Like your team, you had a great team with you all weekend. You had like your own camera guy. Like you did it right. Like you did it like a UFC pro would. And he's taking a picture of you guys, and then I'm above him taking a picture of you and your whole squad. It was insane. Like that picture should be on the wall forever. Like that's one of those core memories. It was a insane weekend for sure.
100%. Yeah. And like I said, I have the documentary of this weekend dropping tonight.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So I had this thing all planned out. It's going to be on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah.
On your channel?
On my YouTube. Yep. Aaron Chambers, MMA. It'll be on there tonight. Yep. I'll make sure to post that.
Awesome.
Like I said, I had this thing manifested, bro, since I got this fight. And it happened exactly the way that I expected it to happen. So that's why I set everything up prior, like the cameraman, the documentary, like everything. I had everything ready to go when I got there because I know when I got there, I'm not going to play no games. And it's going to go down how I expected it to go down.
Do you feel like having that all set up to be recorded and everything, do you feel like that put some pressure on you, but maybe in a good way? Like just having, like you said what was going to happen and then you knew you had to follow through with it?
I knew for 100% I had to follow through with it when the cameras were on. Having all the cameras set up, it kind of made me a little nervous, but it made me also sharp at the same time. So I know I had to go out there like, hey, the cameras are on, the documentary's rolling. I said, if I lose this fight, I'm just going to cancel the documentary. Like the documentary is not even going to be worth it at this time. So I know I had to go out there and get a spectacular win in front of my people. So that way it'll make the ending of this video really good.
So you're manifesting. That's your thing. You're three in a row against all very experienced opponents. Like, what are you manifesting next? Like, what's the next step?
So we sent our name to Maynard for 185 for Contender Series in October. So we'll see because we actually hit them up and they told us that they were looking for 85ers, not 205ers right now. So I told them, I said, let me know. Like, I'll drop down right now and fight whoever you guys want me to fight. So, and my son is behind me on his little 4-wheeler. Give me 1 second.
I love it.
You're good. You're
let
good.
him join.
Man, we have
You can
family
join
show.
if you want. What's up, little man?
What's up, bud?
What's up?
Do you want to say hi?
Yeah, this is the next champ right here.
I love it. Next heavyweight champ.
Oh yeah.
I always say it all the time. I always ask Aaron, AJ, I got 4 kids of my own, and like I'm always go back and forth, 2 boys, 2 girls. Like, do I want them to bring in? Are you 100%? You're like, yeah, I'm gonna put them into this world. I want to train them and be a part of it. You would want to kind of pass that on to yours?
I talked to my coach about this the other day. I don't know if I want my kids fighting. Just because I know how dangerous it is. But I definitely will train them in boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, everything, and kind of have them make that choice for themselves later. But I won't pressure them to do it.
Gotcha. I respect that.
If they choose it, they choose it. You know.
Yeah.
So hopefully you get the call for the Contender Series. That would be crazy.
Oh yeah, like we're ready, man. I already told my job. I said, hey, if I get this call, I'm taking 10 weeks off.
Would you ever want, maybe manifesting this one, would you ever want a rematch with Brian Battle?
Yes, 100%. The reason why, and like I told you, David, dude, I was sick as hell that fight. Cutting weight, I ended up waking up with the flu on fight day. I couldn't eat. I weighed in at 185, and then the next day on fight day, I was 176. Wow. So like I actually lost weight. Not taking anything away from Brian. Brian's a beast. Brian's an amazing fighter. You know, he got the win, and there's no complaining about that. He beat me that night. He was the better man. But I would definitely love to fight him again. That would make for a really good fight, especially for the real king in the Carolinas. That would be a really good fight. You know, the UFC in Charlotte or some UFC in Raleigh or something like that down the line.
Wild.
Yeah, but definitely.
Would you be able to or willing to go down to welterweight to meet him for that, or would that be at middleweight?
That'd be a middleweight. I don't think I can make it all the way down there.
Have to do some talking, get him to come up to meet you.
Yeah, but you know, if I don't make it down there to 170, then I pray that me and him take over those divisions in the UFC. He takes over welterweight, I'll take over middleweight, and we turn up for the Carolinas.
That's cool. That's a cool way to look at it for sure.
Yeah.
My man weighed in championship weight, 204, look clean, look good. He had the old school Alonzo Mourning jersey. And then I swear, like I'm like stalking him on Instagram on his IG stories. It was like multiple hours later, this man had nice kicks on, and on the scale was like 230. It was like that.
Dude, dude. Like, so like before when I got back to the hotel, man, I was already like 220, like right after weigh-ins. And yeah, and then that night I just kept going. Like, you know, we went to Insomnia Cookie. I got me a little milkshake. I got, you know, some good things, you know. So yeah, I always like to turn up. And my coach told me when I came back to the hotel with my cookie sandwich, he goes, dude, you don't ever put 85 gas in a Ferrari. I said, well, it's been working good for me. So
that's a good question. He goes, does Aaron know that he fought in the building that hosted the first UFC ever in North Carolina?
Yeah, I actually got told that by someone there on Saturday. It was kind of it was kind of a surreal feeling to know that, and then the fact that the event was nearly sold out just makes it that much better.
It was packed. And I know, like, it was wild for me because like I was everywhere. You know, I was with you outside. I was in the back dressing room. I was doing interviews. I was sitting cage side. I was going upstairs. Like, it was awesome that I saw like a little bit of everything. The place was packed, and like not even that like you can tell some MMA events people are there and they're just like waiting, or they're just not like every fight. There was like knockouts earlier. Like there was great fights the whole night. Great kickboxing fights. Maddie, there was some great Muay Thai stuff. It was just an incredible night. Like they did it right. Like shout out to Fight For It. They did it. They had a phenomenal night in Charlotte. It was awesome.
Yeah, and when I won and I hopped on top of the cage and I saw everybody like piling over, like security piling over the people I'm like, oh my God, what are you guys, calm down, like chill out. I'll be with you guys in a second. Like it was just crazy, dude. I thought they were gonna break the cage down. Like it was insane.
Yeah. That sounds like a vibe.
Yeah.
But that's what I want. I mean, that's what a fighter wants, and his people is just to be that excited, you know, and that was amazing that, you know, that happened.
Kind of the last question I got for you, AJ, is like, that's the goal. Of course, the biggest platform, the UFC. They can build superstars if it's Sean O'Malley and Connor and Patty and everyone in between. Even what they've done for Brian Battle. Brian Battle's got a great following and all that stuff. I know that's the goal, but is your game plan to kind of like chill, keep training until you get that call? Or if it's months later or something, do you have to take something else? Are you going to take another fight to, keep on doing your thing? You got to keep pushing down that door until they say, yeah, come through. You're in a weird spot right now.
So, yeah, like you said, I could sit back and wait for an answer for the Contender Series, but I think we want to keep rolling. Like, I just want to keep rolling. All of my fights come by first round finishes. So I want to keep adding to that resume to really show how much of a great fighter that I am. I don't want to be complacent and kind of relax. I definitely want to keep fighting. So if I get a call next month to fight or 2 months from now, then I'm definitely hopping in that.
Okay, cool. At least the last thing for me, my man. All right, bro. The bigger you get, all right. The bigger you get, there's gonna be people hating on you on IG, man. You just gotta block them, all right. You gotta appreciate him, all right. You can't go back and forth with that guy. That guy's got he's on it all day waiting for you to reply to him. You feel me?
You know what's funny is I'm glad you mentioned that. I saw that and I did reply to him, and we were kind of going back and forth. And I thought to myself, like, if I get bigger than what I am now, it's gonna be a lot worse. So definitely, I blocked him, and whoever else is talking crap, block him, and just keep moving forward. Like that shit doesn't bother me.
God's too good for that, man.
Read the good ones. Let everything else.
I mean, it's always a good sign when people are talking about you, good or bad. Yeah. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, he even went to the extent to like sharing my photo on his Facebook and saying some stuff. So it's like,
sounds like he's a fan to me.
So we're just gonna keep pushing forward. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Girl, anything else for AJ, guys?
No, congratulations, and hopefully we hear some good news for you in the fall.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome, AJ, man, congratulations. Like I said, it's been awesome. It's been an honor to kind of watch your journey, and even for me, like I was just a young pup in the game, and we were doing our thing, and to see where you're at now and everything, just to follow the journey. I felt really blessed to be there this past Saturday night in Charlotte. It was just like a cool moment for sure. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Cool. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all later.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, tonight. I was gonna say, hey, tonight, watch the YouTube. Watch AJ Chambers' YouTube documentary drop. Watch that. There you go.
His fan base was totally blowing up the comments. I love it.
Oh, dude, it was a vibe, guys. Like he had the best people behind him. Like all these guys are great. Girls are great. His wife was amazing. Like,
yeah.
Shout out to all these people. Like it was such a good team. It was a great vibe. Cool.
I love it.
All right. So I think we got a little bit on Tom Aspinall, and I know we got a whole second hour to go. I know we got Gillian coming on in 5-7 minutes. We got Movsar coming on at 2:30. He's like could be the best featherweight on this planet, El. He's incredible.
Let's go. I'm pumped.
Yeah. That's going to be sick.
That's a good one.
I'm super excited.
Love it. Packed show. But we have a new UFC welterweight champion. Thought it was so funny. I love El and Grant Dawson. They might be my two favorite people in this MMA space. And on Wednesday, we had a press conference with the PFL and Bellator kind of in South Florida. So Tuesday night, I drove my happy butt from Daytona to Fort Lauderdale, and I stayed with the Dawsons. And one of the biggest topics we talked about, like, I was a little pro Bilal. I was like, dude, it's like the right time. His energy's good. The momentum was good, all this. And then El and Grant were like, dude, Leon's amazing, all this. I'm like, no, you're right.
Pro Bilal. Get out of here.
I wasn't pro Bilal.
You were pretty in the middle.
Good chance.
From what I remember. You were pretty in the middle. I think you were pretty in the middle. You were like, he could do it. And I agree with you. He could do it. And he did.
Yeah. And it looks like a lot that Leon is saying afterwards. I don't know if you guys saw this. He said like the time really messed him up. So that's my first question. You guys, do you believe him? Do you think it was just a bad outing? Do you think the time kind of messed him up? Do you think it's just a horrible matchup for him? What do you guys think? What's next for Leon? What do we do with that?
I could see the time being difficult to deal with. I also feel like that's something you have to prepare for. If you knew that, months ahead of time, like that's something you have to prepare for if you need to flip-flop your schedule and whatnot. I also don't know what their media responsibilities were during the week. I'm assuming their media day wasn't in the middle of the night. So they probably had to be on a normal-ish schedule during media week. So I don't really know, but like the time is going to affect everybody, Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. It's not like, he's one of how many fighters on that card that had to do that time switch. And granted, like that time switch is insanity. Like that's a tough one, but it's like if I'm not mistaken, he had a pretty decent sized fight camp for this. Like you just have to get a crew around you that's willing to train at 1-2 in the morning and train to stay up that late and basically just like flip-flop your schedule. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a very good excuse in my opinion.
I agree. And I don't even want to take anything away from Bilal by saying that Leon looked off. I think Bilal fought him really well. Like, I just think he's made a ton of improvements. He had just tremendous pressure and was constantly in Leon's face. And something we talked about leading up to this that I talked to Dave about several times was Leon slows the fight down so well to his pace. And I just think he was struggling to find his timing.
Yeah.
I think this is all Bilal. I have kind of a hot take. I think Islam beats Leon, or at least that version of Leon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of with you now.
Yeah. After seeing that, I think I wouldn't have said that before last yesterday.
We talked about it. Remember we talked about it. Yeah.
Now I see it. Sorry. Finish what you were saying, Maddie. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's all good. I was just gonna say, I think where Leon struggles is when people are able to push back, and when he's not able to keep that pace that he wants, and people kind of challenge that. I think Bilal did a really good job of challenging that, and then someone like Islam, I would assume would do the same thing. So. Yeah, the time change, I'm sorry, that's just not a good enough excuse. If anything, like maybe he didn't change his training schedule and was like, "Oh, we'll just give it a shot" or something. Like that would have been shitty.
The one thing I disagree with the time change
I agree with this. That is 100% how Colby should have fought Leon.
Yeah.
And he did in the fifth round.
That's a great
he figured it out a little too late.
I just think everyone is different. Every person, and especially professional athlete, is just very much different. So like some people can fight in Vegas better. Some people can fight on the East Coast better. Some people can fight in the day. And some people maybe are nighttime guys. Like, I just think for some odd reason, and I know that sounds like an excuse. I just think if Leon said he just couldn't get the engine going, maybe he just honestly couldn't get the engine going. Like he just couldn't, and the other guys didn't. Tom Aspinall didn't have to get the engine going. That fight was 55 seconds. Like that. Like Tom Aspinall didn't fight for 15 minutes. Leo, I don't know.
I mean, Arnold Allen, he looked great.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah, Maddie did fine. Clearly,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't buy that one.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, something that we do buy a lot. And we buy a ton of stock here in Fight Bananas land. We've been buying it for years after years after years. She's a UFC record holder. Maybe she sent me a really cool text a couple of days ago. I don't think we're allowed to say anything about it, but let's buy some more stock on this savage one, Gillian Robertson.
What's up?
What's up, G?
How you doing? I just heard what you guys are talking about, and I gotta say, it's 100% an excuse.
Yeah, 1,000%.
100, 1,000%. I'm like, how do you not acclimate your training schedule? I'm like, I fought in Abu Dhabi. My show time was 11 p.m. I fought around 1 or 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm usually in bed by 8 p.m., maybe earlier. So it's not an excuse.
Yeah, especially on that level. Like you
get a world championship match. Great point, Matt.
Right.
Great
like
point.
On that level, it's like, dude, you knew better. You knew better.
It's like, how long did you know about the fight? It's like you couldn't change your training schedule.
Exactly.
Like, the whole time I was in Abu Dhabi, I was like nocturnal. Like I went to bed at like, I don't know, it was like 3 a.m. every night. And then I woke up usually around 4 or 5 p.m. and I slept all day long because I knew I had to fight in the middle of the night. So it's like, why not make your training schedule like that?
Totally agree.
Question for you. What was the media obligations like during the week? Did they adjust those to what your fight schedule was going to be, or were they kind of like how they normally would be during fight week?
Yeah, most of them were in the afternoon. I guess I typically don't really have a lot at this point still. I'm assuming for champs, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably a little different. They get usually like stacked with media where I'm like, I usually have usually one day that's pretty busy. And then besides that, they leave me alone.
I have a feeling that's not going to be for long, my friend.
Not for long. Not for long.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We need to see a Gillian main event soon.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That would be the wish. Hopefully soon.
Fingers crossed.
Something else I guess coming up. We got a date at least.
Oh, okay. Do we have to keep that on the DL for now?
I never know. Honestly, like,
what are they gonna do? That's like kind of my question. It's like, if it's already set and you guys have signed contracts, everybody's like, we can't tell anybody. It's like the media always announces everything before the UFC. Very rarely do they announce something.
And it's always like an undisclosed source has told us like that so-and-so is fighting.
I'm like, the media usually announces before I get my contract anyway. I'm like, I don't have my contract right now, but it's been verbally confirmed on both sides.
Nice.
Yeah. But like you said, like I never it's not like the UFC texts you. It's like, yeah, you can release it now or anything.
Right.
It just kind of found out. So
that happened to Grant this time too. Like we didn't even know the other guy accepted the fight, and then somebody posted it on Instagram.
That's exactly how it was with my Michelle Watterson one. I'm like, I think I found out about it, and then a couple hours later it was posted, and I was like, how did this even happen that fast?
God, people talk, man. It's wild.
But yeah, so since that's the case, Luana Pinheiro, November 9th.
Let's go.
We don't have a location yet. It seems like the UFC doesn't really know. I got one location initially, then it got changed last week. So it seems like that's kind of up in the air. But November 9th, Luana Pinheiro.
That's exciting. Congratulations. Nice long fight camp.
Are you allowed to say what the first location was?
I don't know.
So you think is that location is off the board?
Dave's like boop boop boop.
As of now, they've told me a different location.
I gotta make new artwork right now.
That's sick though.
Dave's
Congratulations, Gillian. That's so awesome. Well, on that note, I'm gonna head out. I mean, it can't get much better than that news. That's awesome. But I have to attend to my work. So love you all, and tell Movsar he's the best for me. Very jealous.
Will do. 230. Dude, he's 18-0. Guy's a monster.
It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. All right, guys. I'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Later, Matt.
Yeah, Gillian, feel free to stick around and talk to Movsar with us.
It's crazy you guys have him on. I literally saw that right before I came on here on the little preview. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
I've been asking everybody. I just walk in the gym. I'm like, Tuesday, my show. People are like, okay. I'm like, sweet.
Why not?
Why not?
The best part. So I drove down to South Florida Tuesday night, stayed with the Dawsons, and we had some stuff at Killcliff and at ATT. And it's just like you go in the gym, and of course, you know it. You've done it for multiple years there. You're just like, wow, whoa, that's crazy. Whoa, look at that. They're rolling together. It's like, wait a second, those two guys are. It's like it's insane. It's just like it's a pay-per-view every single
pay-per-views.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was just about to say. I'm like, you walk in the gym and you see like Dustin and Masvidal or something. You're like, oh shit, I would love to see that. I would pay for that. It's like just happened in the gym.
One thing I won't pay for, I guess I had the bad fortune of having to go to the bathroom right after the practice and go into the male bathroom. Horrible idea. Don't do it again. Horrible.
Dave saw too much.
Wow.
Yeah, way too much. I don't know what the girls do on
obviously
that side.
I've never been in the men's locker room, but I've heard the dudes are walk around way more naked than the girls do. So
what, like, what? I just don't understand. Just put on a pair of shorts. Like, Anyways, all right, we're changing the subject real quick. We're changing the subject. All right, this past weekend, good friend of yours, Molly McCann, did not go her way at all. What's your take on it? Just do you think it was a bad outing? Do you give a lot of credit to her opponent? What do you think on Molly's performance at 304?
I think that the fighting nerds are dangerous. I noticed them in Bruna Brazil's corner, and I think she fought smarter than she's ever fought before. Obviously, Molly throws a lot of looping punches, heavy pressure forward, and she was planting those knees up the middle, just timing them. Molly drops her head down pretty low when she's throwing a lot of those punches. So Bruna was timing them perfectly, caught Molly with a big knee up the middle, one to the stomach. She was just, I feel like she was very on point, and it was just a smart approach she took to the fight and a smart game plan. But I think it's the team. I think the fighting nerds in general, I see everybody who comes out of that school, the way they approach their fights is just so smart. I feel like it really made Bruna Brazil now somebody I'm like, oh, I have to watch her. Where before, going into this fight, I was like, oh, Bruna Brazil, she's going to get cut in 1 or 2 fights, you know? Where after this, I'm like, oh, she's someone to watch. She fought this fight smart.
Huge improvements. I agree. And not even Molly's wrestling still, she still did what she does, which is wrestle hard, and she had huge takedowns and she had good moments, and she's always tough as nails. But Bruna looked phenomenal.
I like I said, I just feel like so many girls, it's like they just go out there to fight. They don't go out there with a game plan. And you could just see, you could see Bruna was really thinking, went out there with a game plan that she strategized for Molly McCann specifically. And it was just, it's something you don't see often. She really impressed me, honestly.
Yeah. There's a few things I saw, she still kind of she jumped the back a little bit early, but then if she hit her back, she made good decisions once she was on her back and whatnot, and I always bring you up when I'm talking about women with fight IQ, because I'm like, Gillian never gives up the back for arms unless it's the end of the round. She's so smart with it. And that's something you do super well. Do you feel like that's something you've always had or something you had to develop?
Maybe a little bit of both. It's definitely something that Dean Thomas, working with him just since I was 16 years old, it's something that he's developed in me well. Just by how we drill and how he is. A lot of times when I'm fighting, honestly, Dean doesn't really talk much in the corner. He just kind of lets me fight. Where it's you see so many other corners, especially when I was an amateur, he would literally not say a word the whole time he was in the corner. But you see a lot of fighters, their coaches act like they're a video game character. They're 1, 1, 2, 3, jab, whatever. They're screaming at him I don't know. It's they're not letting their own fighter think. They're not letting them think for themselves. They're not letting them make decisions. And it's that's really where you start developing that fight IQ, is whenever you start making your own decisions. And then that's also, to go back, is what Dean does with our drilling too. A lot of times with our drilling, it's very situational. So it's constantly making decisions, your partner giving you a look, and you have to make the correct decision. So you're always constantly just making making the right reads. And I feel like that's where I guess shine in MMA, is I make decisions faster than most girls.
I love that. Love that.
We
didn't have you on the week before UFC 304, so we didn't kind of get your take on Patty and King Green, or Aspinall, or even Leon and Bilal. Of course, all that's over. What's your take afterwards? I saw what you said a little bit about Leon, but what did you have going into that fight? Were you, like most of us or most of the MMA world, on Leon? Tom Aspinall looks like the best heavyweight we've maybe ever seen. He just looks invincible. Patty Pimblett gets a submission on King Green. Where were you on before it, and what's your takes after them, of course, on those 3 big ones?
I guess Patty and Tom impressed me massively. Patty slicks it, he went for the guillotine transition to the triangle. I'm like, that was just slick. Just nice transitions on jiu-jitsu you don't see in MMA often. And he was looking good on the feet too before that. So Patty's whole performance really impressed me. And he's also someone who just knows how to go out there and just perform, which is just such, I guess, a huge element on its own. Tom Aspinall too. I thought Curtis Blades was looking good at the very beginning. He was throwing a lot of clean punches, just looked sharp. And then Tom Aspinall's just so fast. Timed that right hand right over the top. It was absolutely like picture perfect, beautiful. And then we go to the Leon and Bilal fight where I'm like, obviously Bilal was able to come away with the victory. Well, going into it, I guess to start, I definitely thought Leon was going to win, but I didn't completely count out Bilal. I thought he had a chance.
Right.
I still thought he was in the fight. But yeah, it was just, I guess, what a way to win for Bilal. I'm like, why? At what point do you like? I understand he controlled the back for the last. I think it was either the last 2 rounds or it was within the last 3 rounds. Leon controlled one and Bilal controlled two, just sitting on the back. And I'm like, at what point do you just give up on the back and go to mount or like get to a good striking position, get to a good damaging position? Because it's like this isn't a jiu-jitsu fight. This is an MMA fight. Like let's treat it like MMA. Let's start to do damage. If we're just gonna sit here and hand fight, like. It was very frustrating to watch.
With that being said, do you think, are you kind of, seems like a lot of the MMA space and media and all that things, whoever it is, Shavkat, Jack Della Maddalena, who's the other young one? There's another young, maybe even Ian, whoever, or even like an older guy like Usman. If whoever fights Bilal next, do you think they beat Bilal, or is he just like this kind of like a bad matchup for a couple of these guys up there and can go on a little bit of a late run here?
Yeah, I honestly think he is like he's gonna be tough to beat. I think he's a bad matchup for a lot of guys, and it's not gonna be an exciting champ. It's not gonna be like we're gonna have all these great fights. But I think he is gonna be able to beat a lot of these top guys.
Awesome. Anything else with 304?
No, I want to pull this comment up to the board because I agree. It says, can you imagine the scrambles between Gillian and Verna? Like, please tell me that is a fight that we're going to see at some point, because I'm sure you feel the same way about Verna as I do. Like, her grappling is just, oh my God.
Okay, no, I feel like me and her, if there's anybody in the division who's similar to my style, it's her, So it's like, I would definitely, I don't shy away from any fight, So I'm like, if that's on the contract next, I'm signing it.
No, Angela Hill doesn't think so. She's been calling you out now for 30 straight days. Are you
It's not my fault I'm fat. I can't do 115 back to back. That's not possible, and that's the only way I'm saying no to a fight is when it's I'm like, I don't understand though. I'm like, they gave me November 9th. Why can't they just make her fight November 9th? They were trying to give me an 8-week turnaround, give her an 8-week turnaround for me.
Yeah. And you never know. Maybe, especially if one of those, I would assume that's going to be a 15 or a 20-minute fight if that is the main event, Angie Hill versus Tabitha Ritchie. But you never know. Maybe one of those girls might turn back around if something happens with your opponent. But we'll see. And it's November 9th. It's not November 2nd, by the way.
I believe it's the 9th. I could be.
Okay.
I'm like,
Dave, stop making posters.
I got this awesome poster. It's November 2nd and it's Edmonton. That's all I get. That's gone.
Dave has to make sure everything's perfect.
I love it.
I'll double check before we release the poster.
No, of course. I think Gillian
is beyond an Angela Hill fight.
I thought I was beyond a number. I understand in my post-fight press conference, I said I wanted 1 through 12, but I didn't think they'd give me the next, like 1 by 1 by 1. I'm like, I don't have time to climb up step by step. So they gave me number 12.
So the next one needs to be at least like 8.
Yeah. 7, I'm 8. Like, can we just get a little jump up? That would have been nice.
A teensy bit.
Maybe more though. Like it's so funny. Sometimes the UFC, who was like even Benoit Saint Denis, like he beat Thiago Moises and then he fought Dustin at 3. Like sometimes you jump. So another finish, a big moment for you in a big spot. Like you could go to 12 to like 4. It could be like you and Verna like that, or the winner between Mackenzie Dern and Lupi Godinez, which is happening this Saturday during the day in Abu Dhabi. That's like. That fight happens, I'm like, oh, Gillian's watching this fight. Like, Gillian's going to be like eating granola, watching this fight. This is right up your alley. What do you think of it? I guess, who do you think wins? Do you think it's a submission base against the wrestling base, or are they both just going to stand and bang because they're both respect each other down there? What do you think was going to happen in this fight?
That whole card is actually pretty interesting. The whole main card.
Great card. Great card.
A lot of good matchups. Yeah. But with the Loopy and Mackenzie fight, I don't know. I think it's another tough matchup for Loopy, but because she just came off of fighting Verena Jandiroba, if I'm saying that right. But she just came off of fighting her, which is a similar style to Mackenzie. The only thing is that Verena has definitely a lot better wrestling than Mackenzie, so she has a better ability to take it to the ground. Where I think that Mackenzie does win the fight if it goes to the ground, but if it stays on the feet, then I think it's Loopy's world.
Loopy's world. Okay. I like it. Like you said, the whole card's awesome. We'll get to the main event in a second. I think it's one of the best main events kind of the summer. Like it's even better than some of these pay-per-view main events. And I know people were really excited about Leon and Bilal going into it, or maybe they weren't. I don't know. I like this main event better. Like Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov is awesome. Like I love this fight. But we also got Cheeto versus Figueiredo. There's a lot of other fights on it. What other fights are really jumping out at you, G?
You gotta love whenever Tony Ferguson's back.
Again.
This is it, G. This is it.
It's
gotta be his last one,
retirement fight. It has to be.
It has to. This is it.
But Tony Ferguson, Michael Chiesa, definitely an interesting fight.
Yeah.
I think it's a better matchup for Tony than what we've seen recently, but I still don't think it goes his way.
Yeah.
But we can only hope that it's time. It's time for a retirement fight.
Do you think that the UFC will have to release him for him to retire? Or do you feel like he can make that decision on his own?
I don't know. Tony's a different kind of character, So I don't know if he just he might just be in it because he loves fighting still,
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter to him. But yeah, I think the UFC is gonna how many he's set 0-7, 0-8, something like that in his last
7, I think.
Yeah.
7 in a row. Yeah.
Elle, are we recording this right now? This is live. We're recording.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So
what are you about to say?
My hot take right now is I think Tony Ferguson will fight in game-bred bare-knuckle MMA within the next 12 months.
I would not be the slightest bit surprised.
At all.
The UFC told Diego Sanchez, "Hey, buddy, it's time." And he said, "Screw you guys. No, it's not. I'm just going to go fight somewhere else."
Yeah.
So I could see Tony Ferguson doing something similar.
And I actually think Ferguson would be really good there because everyone forgets how good he is on the ground or how good he used to be on the ground. He just doesn't fight there anymore. His scrambles were so awesome and his jits were so great. That was prime Tony when he was he did everything. In the same round, he would strike, grapple, scramble, submission attempt, right hand. He was all over the place. And that was the love affair I think we all had with Tony. And now it's I feel like he's just a kickboxer. And I think if they went to bare knuckle MMA for game bred, I think he can kind of tie some of that back together. Be like, hey, Tony, you're going to get shredded if you just stand here, grapple a little bit, fight. But then if you got to get him down to get a submission, let's go.
Well, and I think there's guys that Tony Ferguson can absolutely still beat. They're just not in the UFC right now, Right. They're out there for sure. I 100% agree with this take. I thought Tony Ferguson versus Nick Diaz was the fight to make. But I understand that Luque and Chiesa fought recently, but rematch them and throw Tony and Nick together is what makes sense.
Is Nick Diaz fighting this weekend?
Huh?
Is Nick Diaz fighting this weekend?
This weekend?
Yeah.
Did it get scratched?
Yeah, it got scratched.
Yeah.
Oh, it did. I'm sorry.
They knew he wasn't going to fight, and they want Tony to fight so they can move on. They wanted this thing to go. I think in a weird way, as much he had a great career, a great run in the UFC, but it's time. It's kind of It's like your kids. You love them
for a second that fight got scratched too.
I love my kids, but I don't want my kids living with me when they're 25. It's time.
Yeah.
It's rough to watch fighters when they can't just I know it breaks my heart thinking about when I have to walk away from this sport. But I'm like, I'm not gonna let myself go on a 7-fight losing streak before I walk away. Like I'm gonna realize when it's my time. I'm like, I feel like there's nothing where it just, like you said, it takes away from that memory of Tony of great, like how great he was and how, like you said, in a whole fight, but he would do the grappling, striking, and wrestling in one move, you know?
Yeah.
That's the best description of Tony Ferguson I've ever heard.
It was just, he really was such an interesting character to watch to fight. And it was great to watch him fight. And it's like, you just don't want to remember him how we've seen him in these last couple fights.
Yeah.
I
agree. Sean said Dave kicks his kids out at 17. They don't even get 18.
But we had a good run. Like, what else do they want from me? I can't pay for them forever.
I see ya.
All right, let's get into this main event. I love this main event. Like, I feels like there was always a main event. It was like 2 summers ago in New York. I remember vividly. It was Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. Of course, Ortega got hurt in it, but it's always these day main events that I love. It's on NBC. So is this card. I love Corey in this fight. What'd you say?
Oh, I just said love a daytime card.
Yeah, it's a good one. Great main event. What is both of you guys' take? Let's start with G, then let's go to UL. Sandhagen, if he wins, he should get a title shot against Merab or Sugar. Can Sandhagen get the job done?
I think this fight's like a grappler's dream, you know? It's great wrestler, and then Sandhagen's just a great grappler all around. He has great wrestling and just great top pressure. I'm honestly a huge Sandhagen fan, and I've got him going into this.
I'm with G. Like I'm all on Sandhagen here. Obviously Umar is such a complete fighter. He's very dangerous, but I feel like Corey has been just under that title shot for so long. And we've seen him, like you said, we've seen him wrestle. We've seen his grappling. He's only losing to the absolute best people in the division, like Aljo. And I feel like his pace is incredibly hard to match. And I think his striking style is really hard to prepare for too. So I'm on G's side with this.
Okay. I like it. I don't disagree. I love it. G, do you need to go or would you want to stay a little bit longer? Up to you.
Yeah, I gotta head out.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, G, we appreciate you like always. Dude, did I see on your IG stories a new drink sponsor today?
Oh, it's not. It's actually Karate Combat's drink sponsor. I can't remember the name now. I want to say they're called Tempted. It's a THC drink, though.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love
so
it.
I'm like, Awesome got a little care package sent to him today, and President Awesome doesn't indulge, so he thought, what better person to give it to?
Karate Combat Nashville looked amazing. Looked incredible, by the way.
Oh yeah, always Karate Combat. It's just such a cool scene out there. Neo was out there.
Yeah, Neo.
Like Neo watching Karate Combat. I'm like, that's crazy.
Robert Kennedy Jr. was out there.
They had the Hawk Tua girl out there.
Yeah. But who is the girl that
I love how nobody knows her name. She's just the Hawk Tua girl.
It's Haley. It's Haley, okay?
All right, Dave knows her name.
Real quick. Who was the girl that was doing the post-fight interviews for Karate Combat?
Yeah, I didn't recognize her.
I'm going to call president right now. I'm pissed off about this right now.
Honestly, Michelle did a great job. Like, I'm assuming it was like last minute kind of thing, but like she went out there and she absolutely killed it on the mic.
Has he ever seen Gillian Robertson on the mic? She's unreal. She's awesome.
I know. It's like I've just been sitting waiting by my phone, you know?
Jeez, I'm telling you, I'm going to be G's new agent. That's it. I'm taking over the agency. I'm calling president right now. We're working on a 6-fight deal for Karate Combat. Getting you paid.
Dave, don't let Dave lie to you. He just wants Dana's phone number.
That's a good one. All right, G, we appreciate you. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next Tuesday. If not, we'll talk to you. And I'll message you back and forth. We'll get a good fight poster. I will take that Canadian flag off
the location, the opponent. We'll get it all settled.
I got the opponent. Do you have a great day? I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, you too. See ya.
Thanks, Gillian.
Right. Man, that's tough. That's tough. The artwork was great. I had it was the Canadian flag in the background. It was like the artwork was insane. Sick.
Was that the location?
Yeah, Edmonton.
Ooh. Somebody asked that earlier. Not anymore, apparently.
Let's sell some gear. Guys, head to hkausa.com. Use the promo code bananas20 and get your merch today. Wow. L. Dawson with the gun show watching the HKA. And then a huge shout out. I got him in the top left corner. We did this in the first hour. They sent a great care package. I will be sending it to Maddie and Elle later on this week. Guys, grindopscoffeeco.com. Get some coffee. Do a great company. Read about them. A Navy SEAL. Anyone that gives their time and effort and puts everything on the line for us. Guys, you can buy some coffee. They got T-shirts right there. Beautiful, soft T-shirts. So there you go.
And for real, like when we talked to Carly about a coffee sponsor for the Sunday Morning Brew, the number one thing that I brought to her is like, you know how many veteran-owned coffee companies there are? Like, let's get us one of those. Like, we need to support our troops here at Fight Bananas.
And it's like, say it all the time. I don't want to say we turn down sponsorships. That sounds really snobby, but like we work with great brands and great people, and our Productive Athletics Club, the best people in the world. They're always in the comments. Great people, great. I wear that long sleeve zip up every third day. It's amazing. They make the best merch. I can't wait for their websites to launch. I'm going to be tagging and posting them like crazy when that gets going. But I know we're probably got 4 minutes away from Movsar. I had a fun thing UFC Noche was finally announced. And I don't know how else to say this than to say this. People got to relax on trying to build like the cards like it's the last movie of the Avengers. Like the card is a really great card, but when everyone was building like 3 title fights on it, or Connor was going to be on it with Max Holloway and Ilya, like the card's great. You got Sugar Sean O'Malley and Marab. Great main event. You have Alexa Grasso title fight. I know right now it says Valentina Shevchenko. Let's see if she makes it there. Just going to say that.
I'm just saying you're Chris. I think it was Chris was dogging on you and said Dave was wrong.
Let's see.
Dave was wrong. Let's
see if it's still there. What's the third fight on the card? Oh, Diego Lopez versus Brian Ortega.
That's reset.
Huh?
That's reset.
Yeah. So it's like, that's a great top 3. That might be better than most of the top 3 pay-per-views like of the year. And it's like people are dogging on this card. I don't get it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think everybody likes to dog on every card, to be completely honest. Like people complained about UFC 300 and how good was UFC 300. Like, and I complained about UFC 300. What was I thinking? It was one of the best cards of all time. Like, we as a fan base like to complain. How dare not everybody be Conor McGregor?
So Elle Dawson's texting me right now, so I got to message her back. We're live on our show again.
We're trying to figure out Wi-Fi for our next guest. Oh,
we can move some stuff around, or we can go back and come back.
I think he might be ready. He's figuring out his Wi-Fi.
Look at that, dude.
Cool.
When I looked him up, and I know you probably have so many things to talk to him about, like his run is such an underrated run. Like,
I know.
His run is so good that Diego Lopez's loss is a part of Diego Lopez's positive run. Like, that's how good he is. Let me put this on the card. Yeah, I would love, this is a great talking point, Chris. Appreciate you putting it up about the UFC 306 prices. And so many people are talking about it. Guys, this is
It's the sphere.
Yeah, it's a one of one. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Who knows if we'll get it again or see it again? It's not even about the card. It's about being there for the UFC at the Sphere and the show. If you can afford it, God bless you. If you can't afford it, don't go. Like,
better luck next time. Like,
yeah, like I just don't understand. Like, it is what it is.
I haven't even looked because I know I can't afford them. What are the ticket prices? What are they looking
The
like?
cheapest ticket, the cheapest one was over $3,000. The nosebleed.
That's absolutely unreal.
Talking about someone who's not a cheap ticket. Like I said, guys, 18-0. 8-0 under the UFC banner. Looks like he's got a ginormous fight at UFC 307 against Aljamain Sterling. I believe the winner will fight for the championship next. First time coming on the show, ATT training partner with Al Dawson. Let's invite Movsar to the show. Marsa, my man, how are you?
Good. How about you? How's
doing good, my friend. Doing good.
I'm in restaurant, so I'm apologize if hear like some noises out.
No problem.
You're good. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you making it work today.
So I'm ready for questions.
Let's go. Let's ask some questions. Go for it, Dave. You start.
I was gonna say my first one right off the bat. Were you told, or did anyone from the UFC promise you a win versus Aljo get you the title shot?
No. We don't have this agreement for title shot, but this makes sense because nobody else wants to fight, and we have two names, Max and Ilya Takuria, and we'll see after when I finish Aljo, like nobody else for me, except
there's
these
nobody
two
else
guys.
in the way.
Yeah, because Yair will fight. I don't know when. He's somewhere, and Brian will fight against Diego Lopez. I beat Diego.
Yeah.
So that's the next one. The title shot makes the most sense. You want to say hi?
Yeah. 9. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
How are you, my friend?
Good. Just eat my lunch.
Just eating your lunch. So we actually talked to Danny Sabatello a few days ago, and he brought up that he had just finished that morning sparring all of his rounds with you. And obviously, you're a great look for his guy. I'll be far better everywhere, but similar styles. And obviously, he could be a really great look for Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you agree? And
good scramble, like good takedowns, and, but I think Sabatello's cardio is much better. So it's a good sparring partner for me, like I am for him. He asked me to help him because he's waiting for his fight. I have enough time to take a break, maybe 10 more weeks. Too much.
Yeah.
But I'm in shape already. So.
Do you prefer the longer camp, or do you prefer a shorter, like less time?
I like push myself last 6 weeks, like hard. But I train every day 2 times, even if I have no fight, because I have nothing to do else. This is my job. I enjoy when
Yeah.
It's like my hobby.
Aljamain Sterling, arguably maybe one of the greatest bantamweight fighters ever. Moved up to featherweight, one fight against Calvin Kattar, gets a win, UFC 300. Were you impressed with him moving up? Were you not impressed? Did you watch it at all? Did you care at all of this?
I don't think that he's best bantamweight, because the way how he get the title, tell me enough. And the second fight with Peter Yan, just Peter beat him easy for first time, and then maybe he not estimate, like And he just like maybe no good camp or some injuries. I don't know. He was not that Peter Yan who like in first time. So and after he beat Cejudo, but Cejudo was like was retired, and then he came back after 3 years. And he get tired, and he even can't wrestle with him. So and who else? And he get knockout from Sean O'Malley. And for first round, even he cannot take him down. Sean O'Malley just strike him. Okay, why I have to think about him? That's the best bantamweight. Yeah, he's bantamweight, and he's not small for featherweight too. And he beat Carter, and I don't think that Carter was in his best shape. I think he's done. Like after Max Holloway, after Allen, like he's not that Carter when he was good. So, I do my best for my camp. Like I train hard. Even if he bigger than he right now. I'm doing the best work for preparing. It's like it's not underestimate something like that. Like prepare, like we can see another opponent.
I think we might be losing your connection a little bit. Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, you sound better now. I think it just the last little bit cut up. You're good now.
Aljo is like just next name, on my list.
Yeah. You brought up how important it is for you to finish him, and you're like, after I finish him, it's not a question. Yeah. How do you see that going without revealing too much of your game plan?
I believe that I can finish him everywhere, wrestling, maybe submission or striking, because he was knocked out a couple times before. So sorry.
No, you're good.
No worries.
Let me change the position.
It's okay.
We'll put you right back. We'll put you right back.
Pop him out, pop him back in when he gets outside.
What a stud. What a stud.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect. I think you threw out both of I heard Ilya, I heard Max. Do you prefer one of those guys more than the other, or who do you think will win that fight? It looks like that fight is being targeted in Abu Dhabi at 308.
Yeah, I was like expected that they will fight on the same card.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like this makes sense because who are like contenders. They fight for title, and winner of our match will fight against next champion. But it's still okay because I have job to do. I have work to do. Like I have to finish this guy, and I don't think about other opponents. So we'll see after.
We have a question in the comments. Somebody has asked where you are eating, what restaurant you're at.
I tell you before, it's like some Italian restaurant close to
Oh,
the
this
gym.
is the spot?
El Tartufo, yeah.
Yeah.
Good pasta, good steaks, everything, like big quality.
Still eating very good. Plenty of time, yeah?
Yeah, too much time.
Too much time.
What's your favorite thing to eat when you don't have a fight?
I'm not big fan of meat, but here I usually like order steak always. Medium, soft. Even you can use just fork, no knife. Yeah, it's so soft. You have to try it.
I will definitely.
Okay.
I'll make Grant take me out for dinner. Date night.
Grant, sorry.
Great, sorry. I love that. A fun question, Movsar. I think people would like. What's something outside of wrestling, grappling, mixed martial arts? What's one thing that you love to do outside of fighting?
Like watch some TV shows, or now I'm trying to read some English books, to make my English a little better. Like you can see my English like so.
It's very good. It's very good. You speak 1.5 languages better than I speak one language.
Okay, thank you. So what else? I love drive fast.
Okay.
Movsar always has a different car.
Yeah.
Different car every time.
That's funny. That's funny.
What's the best car you've ever driven? Best fast car.
Fastest.
It's like not easy to answer for this question, but as I like fast cars, I like BMW. Maybe not fastest car, but like hold the road good,
Yeah.
And you feel like you control this car. Some
Drives
Lamborghini, like Urus or Huracan, they are fast, but you little wonder if something happened, you will lose the control. And also like Porsche 911, like BMW M3 and Porsche 911, like two of my favorites.
I like the M3s. I think they look
Yeah.
the nice. Yeah.
Like some beast, small and fast.
Just like you.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree
guys.
with Christian. Christian says the Tesla is faster.
I drive Tesla plate.
Yeah?
In Kazakhstan. Yeah, it was like terrible.
You like it?
Is it terrible?
But because you know that like Tesla go fast, like straight, but you can turn because that's why you will die. Yeah.
Okay, I won't flip my Tesla. I won't flip.
Okay.
I love it.
Plate is like pretty fast.
Movsar has beat all the featherweights that everyone is talking about. Guys like Dan Ige, Diego Lopes, Arnold Allen, fighting Aljamain Sterling, UFC 307. Movsar, we appreciate you. Appreciate your time. We don't want to take any more of it. You're at the restaurant. Eat the steak. And just want to thank you for your time, my friend. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
There we go. Movsar Evloev, one of the best featherweights on the planet. One of the best, if not the best. So
100%.
There we go.
Love that.
That was
Let's
good.
Go. Still hopped on, even though he was at lunch. We appreciate Movsar very much. There is a rumor running. Oh, I guess we're going back over to Mikhailov over here. I heard this as well, that he was negotiating with PFL prior to 304 and was using it as a bargaining chip, which you can do that if you're using the UFC to negotiate a better deal with PFL.
Mm-hmm.
You can't use the number 2 guy to negotiate a better deal with number 1.
Also, the one thing I will say, and his agent came out today and said, that's not true and all that. And the one thing I would kind of agree with him, I'm just throwing that out there. PFL don't have flyweights. Like, what would he do to go over there?
It would be 135. Have to be.
Like, he loses his special sauce at 135.
I will say the the discussion among Bellator was that they were making a flyweight before the merger. They were making a flyweight division for Kyoji Horiguchi, who very well could be the best flyweight in the world. So it's maybe there is something over there.
Yeah,
maybe it's coming.
I'm not saying it's not, but it's just like it's behind every rumor there's
good too. Their bantamweights are really good too.
Yeah, like I just think he would lose his, like, if he's not the undefeated prospect anymore, like, who's Makayev?
He could go up to 135. Like, Bellator has bantamweight, of course, but they do not have flyweight. So it's like, would he be able to compete there? I don't know. It's tough to be a flyweight outside that got released from the UFC. That's a tough.
Yeah. And like, again, back to my analytics thing, guys, like if you're a pain in the ass to work with and you and the UFC posts a picture of Makayev and then they post a picture of Molly McCann an hour later and you get 9 times more likes and comments on Molly, it's like, and this guy's the ass and he's asking for way more money. It's like, no, they're done with it. Like,
yeah. And
I don't know.
He hasn't been the most active, which there's guys that are far less active than Makayev has been. I don't necessarily fault him for that, but I think it's, if you want to be the guy, like the guy at flyweight, you have to be active because there's so few flyweights. Look at Tatsuro Taira. Like, we didn't notice he was fighting, but he would pop back up, and then a couple months later, he's back up.
Yeah.
I don't think Makayev was. I don't think Makayev was ever next in line. It's Taira.
Right. Yeah.
100%.
This is the fight. I think it's going to happen too sooner than what people think. I think they have some really big main events for the next 3-4 cards. So they're going to slide Pantoja, Rocky Pennington. Like, they're going to slide some of these lower titles as the co-main event to put 2 titles on some of these cards at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Which,
no, I think so.
Here's the fun thing. And I thought about this, and we got 10 minutes of the show, so this is probably it. 306, Sugar Sean O'Malley, Marab, that's at the Sphere. UFC 307, we all thought was Ilya and Max, Salt Lake City. 308 was Islam and Arman. If Islam's hurt for the year, and now all the big rumors that they're going to move Ilya and Max to 308 to give that a big spot. 309 is the New York City card, the Stipe and Jones and Aspinall. 310, Vegas. It's Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. What's the main event of UFC 307 in Salt Lake City? And I know what it is. It makes so much sense. This guy's been saving the UFC all year long. I haven't said his name. They're going to do Alex Pereira versus Megaman Ankalaev. That's going to be the main event. This man's going to save 3 pay-per-views in 1 year.
Those names one more time. Huh? I know if I ever want to do Alex a tongue twister for Dave, it's Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira.
Alex Pereira.
There you go.
Pereira? Tell me that's not the main event.
That would be a great main event. I'm for that. I will watch Alex Pereira fight just about anybody.
A garbage can. I'm in.
I'm here.
$80.
I love that man. And I think the UFC is, all the fan base is pretty much has a consensus. Like, he is like the most beloved dude in MMA right now.
The Pereira and Ankalaev, Rocky Pennington versus the Broom, and then Aljamain Sterling and Movsar. That's your 3.
Perfect.
I'm sorry. I need Kayla Harrison on that card.
We knew she needs that title shot. 100%. Do we see Jones?
Year.
No. I don't think we ever see it.
Jones are fighting, guys. It's going to happen.
Jones fights Stipe and then retires.
Yeah. They both retire?
Honestly, yeah, they both probably retire. Also, what a good-looking guy in the comment section. What an attractive man. Not bad.
Dude, All right, so here's the story I didn't tell from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I called Ellen Grant right away.
Oh,
my buddy Grant, he gave me they call them pillows in the gym. The cool guys call them pillows. He had like a caffeine patch, and they're can I tell the story? Am I allowed to?
No, yeah, go for it.
Okay, so they're cherry. They're cherry caffeine. They're great. But like I had a long day in front of me, a long night in front of me. So I had a Pepsi as well. So I had this cherry patch in. I'm like, I'm kind of thirsty. Let me drink a Pepsi. It was the best tasting cherry Pepsi I've ever had in my life. I had to call Grant right away. I'm like, dude, I found the secret code. I found
guys though. It sounded like Dave had about 750 milligrams of caffeine on this phone call. Like I have never heard Dave more hype.
Yeah.
Ever in my life.
I'm live at an MMA fight. Why would I not be hyped? I'm hyped.
We're going a mile a minute.
Yeah.
I want to pull this comment up. Oh, sorry. Finish what you're saying.
I was going to say, by the way, Elle and Grant absolutely killed the UFC 304 watch along. I think we talked about it was our second or third biggest watch along we have ever did under the banner. Guys killed it.
Dave, Grant said you sounded like you were on cocaine. No, that was such a fun watch party. It got a little weird in the comment section, I'm not going to lie, but we had a lot of fun. We got a lot of fun. Chris just put this up because we were talking about flyweights outside the UFC being tougher to be an atomweight. Just saying, Invicta has just signed a ton of awesome atomweights. So I'm starting to get really, really excited about that division. I'm super pumped to be competing in the Invicta atomweight division in the next year. It's going to be awesome. Grant, you owe a dinner date to Elle based off this show. I agree. According to Movsar, you have to take me to this Italian restaurant.
That is true. It did look. He says he eats steak with just a fork.
He's saying it was so tender you could just you don't even need a knife.
That's awesome.
That's some good steak.
That's really cool. Elle, what are you doing tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, I will be hopping on a plane and I will be arriving to the airport hours early to hop on that plane to fly to Nashville, Tennessee.
For what?
For PFL semifinals.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
the female fights are great. Dakota Ditcheva, Liz Santos, great fights.
This is when the PFL is the most fun to watch, is the semifinals, in my opinion.
I agree.
That's when it's just so exciting. It's the best guys in every division. So pumped. It's PFL Thursday. It is Friday.
And we will both be there. I myself will be there. Elle will be there. Elle's flying. But we can only afford one flight here at Fight Banana, so I'm driving my happy butt, all right? I'm going to meet her up there a couple of days later, I think. Shout out to Christopher J. Dude, his Monday shows are absolutely killing it, on fire here. I just love it. It kicks off the week for Fight Bananas. Monday, Nate Maness. I love that. And OSP on Cage Side.
Wow.
The following Monday, Carlia Judas.
Dude, I love her. She's so good. That girl's striking is I remember when she made her UFC debut and she had 3 fights. And I was like, ugh, they got to quit signing these girls that don't have any experience. And then her kickboxing was just unbelievable. I immediately ate my words. I was so impressed with her striking. Love watching her.
And guys, our friends at Fight Wipes Clean Comment, they finally released, they've been on a pre-sale this whole time. They are out. So any MMA fighters or you just like to go to the gym or you like to train, this wipes for one, you can wipe your body or you can wipe your gear, your gloves, your helmet, your pads, whatever you want to. It's like a special bacteria secret sauce to it, cleans everything. 30% off, promo code Go Bananas.
Boom. Kill the fungus. Don't give your friends ringworm. That's gross.
That's gross. That's gross. The Van Hawkins, we just signed everyone up for soccer. So we are starting soccer soon at the Van Hawkins house. Very excited for that.
I used to play soccer. I was very average at soccer. It was fun though. I was on the yellow team at the YMCA for a while. I didn't play in high school.
What was the name? What was the name?
I don't even know if we had a team name at the Y.
Oh my God.
I don't remember.
That's the best.
I was very young.
So the girls, I have twin girls, and the best part is they get one thing each. So they kind of fight for what they get, but Taylor got to pick the color of the team, and then Emmy gets to pick the team name of the team. So our girls will be the Red Sharks. We're going to be color red, team name Sharks. That's awesome.
I respect that. I love they get coach's daughter perks. Yeah. Picking the mascot.
Yeah, they get a lot. I work on weekends so they can have whatever they want. That's who I am.
We have a
let's see here. Boxing Bananas preview Terrence Crawford fight this week. They are also more breaking news here at Fight Bananas. The boys will be doing a post-fight show after the Bud Crawford boxing fight. They're fighting in Abu Dhabi. I guess Eminem's there. Bud Crawford's fighting after the show. Our boys for Boxing Bananas, maybe even Chris for Jay or our guy John, we will be doing a post-fight show after that. So that's going to be very cool.
Sweet.
I think me and Elle might do something. We're going to be in Nashville together Friday. So maybe Friday right after the show. Maybe we'll get some of these cherry patches and drink some Pepsi and we'll do a show.
You can do that. You can do that.
Appreciate it, Sean.
Keep my 1 cup of coffee is plenty for me.
Amazing. More stuff. So then next week after that, guys, Elle and I are going again to Island Fights 84 in Pensacola, Florida, and pretty cool. Me and Elle will be doing a podcast for another show the day of the show. So that's cool. Like we're on a whole nother platform. So I like that as well.
That's pretty cool.
Carly, are we allowed to announce what else we're doing in Fight Bananas Land on Friday and Thursday this week? I got to get the go ahead. I'm not allowed to say. We got more secrets here. More secrets, Elle.
Things I don't even know?
No, you don't know yet. We've been keeping this a secret. I'm always working, Elle.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. By the way, Chris, I'll say that in a second. So Thursday and Friday, more Fight Bananas people. We will be in New York covering the LFA live on UFC. Oh.
I'm sorry. Okay. You finish.
So if you guys care at all, we'll be live in New York covering LFA. Elle already knew. Oh boy, I'm the boss. I don't know anything anymore. Yes, LFA. There we go. So excited for that. So guys, we will be live, boots on the ground, LFA Thursday and Friday. Boots on the ground Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for PFL Nashville. We'll have boxing post-fight shows on Saturday. Of course, we'll be covering UFC Abu Dhabi during the day when Corey Sandhagen does his thing and Chiesa wins. And I think Lupi Gonines is going to wrestle Mackenzie Dern. I got her.
I can see that. I tell
Elle all things. Okay, Carly. All right. Now I know my
really
pecking
good at
order.
keeping secrets.
Man, Carly. It goes. Carly's on top of the pecking order. Then Elle. Then
sometimes Maddie.
Then Maddie. Then me. And then unbelievable, dude. What a team we have in there somewhere too. What a team! What a team! So pumped. 1.5 minutes left. Any other questions of this show, guys? Any other things? Appreciate Movsar coming on. Gillian Robertson was amazing, dude. AJ Chambers, guys. If you haven't, go check him out. Great guy, great fighter. He's dropping a big biography of everything he did this past week. You can go check out that. Dillon Cleckler, main event in Island Fights. Cannot wait for that. Chris, you're on the list. We have a lot of people, Chris. Come on.
It's a long list.
Long list. Dave already said Chiesa wins. Yeah, I think so, guys. Tony Ferguson's done. Like I agree. And I'm not even a huge Chiesa guy. I'm not. Like Chiesa's longer in the tooth too.
He's getting older as well. Like I think I thought he would do a lot better against Kevin Holland, you know? So
wait, is this true? The girls were trying to steal the show from themselves last week?
You left us hanging. It was an all-girl show.
The Dallas one.
Yeah, you were in
Dallas. Was last week?
That was last week. There's too much traveling going on, Dave. I'm not going anywhere after Island Fights for like a year. I like Chiesa in studio. We got to get him in ours.
I talked to him about it, actually. It's funny you said that. I
agree with Sean, though. He does a really great job.
He does. I agree with Sean Sterling a lot there. He's really good. And guys, when you're really good in studio, that means you're working at it. It's not an easy thing to do. He's probably putting in time to work. That means he's not in the gym training like he probably should all the time. I'm telling you guys, I still haven't beaten Tony Ferguson, though. Still got him. He's going to be a great addition to Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA. Great. Dude, Randy Costa versus Brandon Michael Davis in Biloxi. Bare Knuckle.
You're going to try and get me to travel for that one, too. I can already tell. And you'll probably talk me into it. He is a fantastic analyst. I agree. I think, I wish judges made enough money for it to make sense for fighters to go into judging instead of analysis, because that is where we need them most. What you doing over there, Dave?
Oh, the Jillian stuff is everywhere. I'm getting messages and texts right now. Look at that.
Nice. It was here first, guys.
We'll fight Gillian Robertson, UFC event November 9th, 1st. Rep by Robertson on the Fight Bananas YouTube Live.
There are a lot of fighters, Sean, that I think would be really good judges. I don't know that Chris Lieben would be my number one choice, but he definitely has more experience than most judges out there. I agree with that. All right, Dave, get off your phone. Finish the show.
It's over. It's over. It's over 2 hours. We did it. I don't know. It's like a thing. We just have to get to that 2 hour mark. We're 2 hours and 1 minute. Guys, we're done. Appreciate everyone coming on the show. Like I said, busy week. PFL Nashville, Elle and myself. LFA New York will be there on the ground all over the place. UFC Abu Dhabi, boxing. What a crazy life. And we appreciate every single one of you guys. We couldn't do it without you guys watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, posting with us. It's the best thing ever. This is an absolute dream, and so pumped and amazing that we get to do it. It's the best. I'm living it. It's amazing. So appreciate you guys. Elle, any last words? Do you want to make anyone cry with any fun thing or emotional speech you want to do right here at the end?
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see everyone next time. No Ben and Bananas Wednesday night because everyone will be traveling. So no Ben and Bananas. Maybe do it. We might do it live together in Nashville, but nothing on Wednesday night. We'll see everyone next time. Cheers.